Well, what's crack? Welcome to another video. Today we are running through top-up conditioning. You've probably heard about it plenty, you know you should maybe be doing it, but you're still wondering, how do I do it, how do I go about it, when do you do it, when do I not do it? So that's exactly what we're going to cover here today. I'm going to run through a session that I'm doing and also explain the ins and outs around top-up conditioning, how you can keep yourself getting fitter in season or not dropping off without running yourself into the ground at the same time. So give the video a like, subscribe, and share with a teammate who needs to get his fitness up. So when you hear the word top up, it's literally doing exactly what it says in the tin. You're topping up your conditioning because you're maybe not at the level that you feel you should be at. Maybe you've been out with an injury, or you're maybe just not getting the minutes that you should be. Maybe you play a half and you don't want to miss out on that other 30-40 minutes of football that you would be getting if you had been playing a full game. If that is the case, where you're not playing full minutes all the time and you're not topping up, as the season goes on, you're going to gradually go down the pecking order, and I've definitely been there before myself. You just feel like performances, fitness, conditioning is going down as the year goes on, and it leaves you with more work to do come the off season. Then the other side of it is you might just have a week off. You might be away on holidays, you just might have a break, you might have no games, you might only have 2 sessions a week instead of 3, and you just want to get an extra wee bit of work done yourself. In terms of how we go about it, it's pretty straightforward. You want to look at the work that you're not getting in, whether it's a bit of speed work, whether it's a bit of conditioning, or a mixture of both, and then you want to maybe look at the distances. If you have a GPS, that's going to come in handy. If you want discount on STATSports, check the link below, 50% off, code Owen McCabe. If you're using the likes of a GPS and you can see what you would hit on a week where you have a full week of training and you play a full game, and then it comes to a week where you maybe only have 1 session and you only play a half in a match, look at the differences between the overall volumes, between sprint distance, between overall running volume hit, like total distance, and then you can build out a bit of a session to top up those numbers then. But the big thing with this is you don't want to run yourself into the ground and add the more fatigue when you're in season. And how I personally like to go about that is any additional work that we do, I like to keep the intensity nice and low, keep it aerobic based, so that you're getting the volume in, you're getting the amount of work in that you need to do, but it's at a low enough intensity that it's not frying you, it's not running you into the ground, and you're able to recover from it relatively quickly. So that's my plan for today. Today I'm getting a running session in. As you know, I'm still rehabbing, still recovering, but I want to build up the amount of running that I'm doing so that the body's just used to it, like the muscles, the tendons, the joints are used to that sort of impact on the ground. Plus I want to keep the conditioning topped up as well. So plan today is around 5 or 6k worth of conditioning running. We're going to start off with a few 100 meters, going to go into a few 200s, few 300s, and then we'll finish off with a few longer intervals just to bring that distance up then. Again, keeping it at a relatively low intensity. I've already done my speed work for this week, and obviously with the hamstring, I don't want to fry the amount of speed work. I don't want to fry the hamstring with too much speed work. So in terms of our conditioning, we're trying to push the volume up, but keeping the intensity relatively low so the body's just not fried and fatigued going into it. So that's the plan. Gonna get stuck in. Right, so plan, we're going to start off with 2 sets of 100 meters within like 20 seconds, so it's relatively slow, just nice easy tempo pace. Recovery is just going to be like a walk, or I was going to say a slow jog, but we'll go for a walk across the pitch and then back up. So 100 meters on the GA pitch, like depending on the size of the pitch, so they're going to be like 21 to 21 or 13 to 13, but I'll clock it here in the watch and see how it goes. So yeah, it's working about 20 seconds on, about 30 seconds recovery. I suppose that's the problem with changing up pitches. Normally when I stick to one pitch I know exactly the distances, but new pitch, not quite too sure. Yeah, so here we're talking probably 13 to the end line. So they 10 reps here and then I'll change it up. So what I'm sort of thinking when I'm going through like tempo runs is it's like a nice opportunity to work on sprint technique at a lower intensity. So you're focusing on getting that knee in front, cycling the legs, being nice and tall. Each rep kind of look like the last. So yeah, we're hitting 100 in about 20 seconds. Like it's nothing groundbreaking. Nice and easy, nice easy pace, 30 seconds rest, and then we go again. I got 5 reps, I don't know, lost count. So yeah, 5 to go. We're on half a K anyway, so. So that's number 6, 7. So yeah, one more to go. First set done. Find first set's always like, almost takes it out of you a wee bit more until you get that sort of wind going. And then after that you're grand. So 2 sets of 10 100 meters. So 2k obviously, and then we'll go into a bit longer distance. We'll just start upping the distance as we go, but bringing the amount of reps down. So we're still hitting 1k per working set, and then we'll top it up with a few 1k intervals at the end. So last one here. So set 1 done. Go take 2 minutes rest here, grab a wee drink, and then we'll get into set 2. Said at the start I was going to come up, walk across, go again, so I'll do that for my next set. Just for a bit of variety too, like, because it can be boring as fuck just running in a straight line all the time. So yeah, I'll probably move clockwise or anti-clockwise, I don't know, we'll go around the pitch anyway. So yeah, 1k done, about 4 or 5 to go. So in between rest periods, like, literally you only have 2 minutes, so just kind of keep it fresh, keep the body fresh. Oh, there we go. Grab a drink, chill out, don't even need them. You can, like, if you have a partner or whatever, do some like low intensity skills, just kicking back and forward. But the main thing is that you want to be recovering, so you don't want to be fatigued going into another set, and then you start pushing harder, you feel like you're blowing. So that's the thing with like aerobic based stuff, as I say, you want to keep that intensity nice and low. And how you can sort of judge that intensity is obviously like your perceived effort. So if I do that there, it's like, right, what effort would you say it is? I'm like, I have like 60-70%. It's like, right, okay, cool. But again, if you have a GPS, this is where you can start looking at the speeds and like working at a percentage of your max speed. So if you know your max speed is 10 meters per second, for example, just to make it simple, and you want to work at like 70% effort to 70% speed, each rep for a tempo run, you want it about 7 meters per second then, which is still relatively quick. Like, well, I suppose if it's your 70%, it's all relative. So your 70% of 9 meters per second is going to be a bit shorter or a bit slower. Well, that's the beauty of like improving your speed as well. The higher your max speed is, like the higher all your sub max speeds are as well. So my 70% compared to someone who, say, fucking runs in the Olympics where they're hitting 11-12 meters per second, their 70% is going to be probably faster than my max speed. So that's why I put such an emphasis on improving your max speeds, so everything else goes up as a result. So yeah, back in, another K, 10 hundreds, but this time we're going to go up. We're going to have a wee bit of a walk across, and then down the other side, just to freshen it up. So same idea, 20 seconds work, 30 seconds rest. This time just walking a wee bit. If you want to challenge yourself, you could do like a really light trot. The idea being that the fitter you get, like, you should be able to recover at, because the intensity is low enough, you should still be able to recover while you're moving. One, it's like there's more time on feet, you're covering a bit more ground, you're still working yourself a wee bit more, but obviously the fitter you get, it's not going to take as much out of you, and you can probably get that distance in a wee bit sooner. But I'll just take a wee walk. It's warm today, sun coming out. 5 seconds, we're back in. We got people going to using that, so we'll stick here, stay out of the road. But it's at 5 reps, so halfway through the second set. Still feeling good. Wee bit niggly in the body, but as expected, really. Like, looking forward to the 200s. They're already playing in my head here before we even get into them. 5 seconds. We've got three to go, I think. It's fucking getting warm. One thing you can see is probably the more fatigued you get, you can see the technique start to slip away. So just consistently cueing that of like still keeping the quality there, still getting in the positions you want to hit. Rather when players get tired, it just fucking seems to go out the window like. So 3 reps left. Done. So 2 sets of 10 done. Now it starts getting going. 200s next, 300s. Once you get over that end of them, you're home straight. So 200s then. Usually go from like corner to the far opposite corner. So if you're covering, say you go like full length of the pitch. So like 13 to the end line was just about 100 meters. So maybe a wee bit further, but just keep an eye on the watch, see where we end up in the first rep. We're gonna do 5 reps of this, I think. Double check. In terms of timing, same sort of time frame. So looking at, yeah, so the last of the 100s we're going 20 seconds, 200s we're going 40 seconds, and then 300s we're going 60 seconds. And then the rest will just go up a wee bit too. So 40 seconds here to get 200 meters in, 60 seconds rest. We're going to do 5 reps of that, which will be tasty enough. Busiest pitch in Ireland here at the minute, but we'll be grand. Just try not to knock over any kids. Right, so we'll clock this one here, 5 seconds. Yep. Definitely a shorter pitch than what I thought. Ended up being like fucking nearly a lap. So we'll go again, 4 more reps. Fucking take goal. It's the first I've actually done any conditioning running with boots on. Done speed with boots on. Just been running in trainers just to like reduce that sort of impact. But you definitely get a bit of speed, a bit more speed out of wearing boots. Goes right in. Then it takes more already. Nearly halfway. Done. 2 to go. Thing you feel like shit doing it, but then you notice that recovery time in between gets a wee bit faster. So obviously the fitter you get, the faster you're going to recover, which also helps when it comes to the speed side of things. So if you're making a burst, the fitter you are, the faster you're going to recover between it, and you'll be able to make that burst again. So it's not like speed or conditioning is like more important. You need an element of both. Yes, you want to raise the ceiling of speed, like how fast you can go, but then also bring up the conditioning so you can repeat those speeds more often and more frequently and longer in the game. But talking in between your rest times doesn't make it any easier. Near went there on that wee hill. So 200's done. Up to 3k total of running, but as I was just saying around there, like about 4k total. Obviously just with the walking in between reps. So we have another 2k to do. 3 reps of 300 meters, and then we'll finish off with one just continuous 1k, which are boring as fuck. But probably the last 2 years that I've been doing in the off season, probably that along with off-feet conditioning, getting extra work out on the bike, probably the best thing that I've done for actually bringing up my overall conditioning and overall aerobic base, as they call it. Again, just comes back to what I was saying at the start, bringing up that volume of work that you're getting in, but keeping the intensity so low that you can handle more volume of it. It's not taking a massive amount out of you. In terms of like recoverability, you can recover pretty quickly from it, but it's low enough intensity, you're getting that aerobic benefit, and it's not frying you, so it's a win-win on both sides. Like, especially when it comes towards the off season, getting your speed work in, but then building up the volume of running at those lower intensities. So it's like a polarized approach. You're hitting that 95 to the 100% max average stuff, and then you're hitting that like sort of 70, 75% and below. And then that kind of covers everything in between in the middle. Like, yes, you will get that middle stuff from a lot of team training, small sided games, playing games. But we want to be hitting like either end of the spectrum, hit the high intensity stuff, and then hit that low intensity stuff. And training in games will look after all that stuff in between. So yeah, 300s here. Buzzing for them, can't wait. So we're talking near enough a lap there. I would say maybe 20 metres off it. So thinking is if I start here, we'll finish right off that far corner. Wee bit of a walk across and then final wrap. Good rest knees, so a good 90 seconds rest. I think like the big thing with GA players too is the pacing of things. A lot of players just fucking blow out just because they just know to go. When you actually try to like hold them back a wee bit and like do something within a set period of time, you still get players, like especially if you're doing it with a group, you still get players bobbing on through it, and like you admire them fucking just going for it, but like when you actually understand what you're trying to get out of it, it just defeats the purpose. Again, it comes back to that idea of just adding more of that kind of mid-zone stuff, which just adds to more fatigue, takes you longer to recover from, and then as the week goes on, the freshness is going to come down. It's probably going to take you longer to recover, and then ultimately performance is going to be impacted if you do that enough weeks in a row. So that's where, like, when you prescribe a certain intensity, that's why you actually want to stick to that intensity, because it's all about trying to get that desired outcome. You can have the best session on paper, but if you like go more intense, thinking more is better, you'll end up digging yourself into a bigger hole, and you're not getting the adaptation that you're looking for. I think that's definitely a big one with GA players. So rep 2, starting at 21, I would say we'll get to that far corner probably. So yeah, in terms of the volume of this session, I know I've been chatting about like topping up sessions or topping up conditioning and doing top up sessions. If you probably wouldn't be going for as much volume in this session, you'd maybe only need, like, again, depending on your game time, depending on how much you've played. If you played a full game, but you feel like you need an extra wee bit of work, I'd probably opt for the legs of off-feet conditioning, because then there's not that as much impact on the body. You're still getting that aerobic benefit. It's actually acting as a bit of active recovery too. Whereas if you maybe played like, say, 40 minutes or less, you're probably only going to have maybe like 2-3k worth to top up on. So then you could just do like, 2-3 sets of 10, 100 meters, just break it up however you want. If you didn't play at all, then right, there's a full session that you can make up, so you can probably push for a bit more volume. If it was in that boat and didn't play at all, I'd be doing speed work at the start, getting that sort of exposure to max speed, a couple of accelerations, max speed, change of directions, and then going to the conditioning from there. And you could probably take this exact session and put it in. If you're in a game, you're probably covering, depending on what position you are, maybe 7 to 10k. So you probably want to make up that total distance then. But yeah, one more rep at ease, then finish off with a wee 1k, and then we're out the gap. 10 seconds. Can you zoom that in just to make me look massive? Need to get that wide lens on. My back on that fit in. Interval's done. Just take a good rest here. 3 minutes. And then just going to do like 1k, just continuous. Fun to be back out in the pitch running again. I'd say this winter we're going to see plenty of that. Obviously surgery in August. By the time you're watching this, maybe close to fucking surgery time. So get that out of the way, get everything healed, hit the rehab hard, build things up again. Probably doing a lot of this type of running just to build that time and load on the feet back up. Trying to do it as sensibly as possible, but don't spike it too soon. A lot of bike work to complement that. Plenty of work in the gym, mostly rehab based. Looking forward to it. Into the 1K next here, gonna change from boots into shoes. Just reason being, like with the hamstring, Achilles have been flaring up a wee bit too. Just with the hamstring not wanting to do as much work, and then Achilles like trying to take like basically the foot and pushing off the ground, trying to generate that force. Achilles are getting overworked, and just with like obviously you don't have as much support in boots, and just that sort of impact is flaring the Achilles up a wee bit. Can't get my lace off. So yeah, the plan is just for the continuous work, just because it's that sort of ploddy type work, just switching up the shoe so it doesn't fry the Achilles anymore. But here, right, Adidas boots. Adidas boots, Nike trainers. I need to find like an in between. I feel like I'm always ask myself the question, like if I had to pick one brand, what would it be for the rest of my life? I couldn't decide between Nike or Adidas. It's like Nike trainers, these Metcons, Air Max, literally like all I wear. But boots, like I've had one pair of Nike boots maybe. It's just always Adidas, like, so yeah, maybe I need to try Ultra boots next. Ultra boosts for trainers, but I'll always be Nike Air Max, like. Right, so if one lap is 300, 3 laps and a bit. Oh yeah, so with the 1K, like again, timing, like I'm not trying to fucking power through it as fast as I can. Like if I'm going here on the minute, looking to do it within 5 minutes, so just nice easy pace, nothing too fast at all. Just again building up that volume in the run, building up that time on the feet. I feel like I'm running on clouds here with these shoes on. One down, 2 to go. There they are, 1 to go. Done. So 6.5K total, about 5K worth of actual work. Obviously the walking and stuff in between, recovery times, all adds up, but you're not including it in your total running distance. As I was saying earlier though, like if you were doing say a length and then a low intensity jog across, you would still count that towards your distance. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that session. Key takeaways: when you're doing that top up running, keeping the intensity low so that you're able to handle the volume that you're doing. You're still getting fitter, but you're not hammering the body, not hammering the central nervous system. It's not going to take you as long to recover off the back of it, and it's not going to negatively impact any of your sessions later in the week. As well as that, obviously adjusting the volume of the session and the content of the session depending on what you've either done or what you've missed out on. If you played a full game, lower intensity work if you still need to get that work in. If you've missed a game, you haven't played a game, or you've only maybe played a half, some faster speed stuff, some more conditioning stuff, topping up the work that you've missed out on. Outside of that, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Instagram, drop me in the comments below. And if you want any of this work put in for you and you want this all looked after, any of the stuff we've been talking about, drop me a message with GAA on Instagram and I'll tell you all about the GAA Performance Academy. Especially coming towards the end of the summer, coming towards the end of the championship, coming into that off-season period for GAA players. It tends to be the busiest time of the year where players want to get a head start before they come back into pre-season. So literally as soon as you're finished one season, you should already be thinking about the next season and getting a head start. So if you're at that stage and you want to get to work, drop me a message on Instagram and I'll fill you in on the rest. Outside of that, cheers for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you want to see any recommendations on what you want me to cover next, drop them in the comments below. Remember to like, subscribe, share to a teammate who can't run the length himself, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.